26 Minecraft stereotypes you'll encounter on any server. These are the players, good and bad, that you might have seen when you hit the tab key, starting with the cheater. And I'm not just talking about on your spouse, though I wouldn't be surprised if there was a give command for an affair. But there's people who will just, yeah, oh, I went mining, you were at lunch. Okay, well, you went mining and you got blocks that weren't possible to grab right now. I don't know how you went from having no silk touch and wooden tools to now all of a sudden having the dragon egg and all of these diamond ores inside of your base. At least this is a better building job than most cheaters would do. Yeah, using command blocks and stuff to build. And I think the problem with cheating is that it just instantly ruins the fun of not only you, but also other people on the server. If there's no stakes, then what's the point of playing survival? Let's just go into creative. Kills the fun. Observers allowed to cheat. An open relationship for observers cheating. The unemployed. So, hey man, I'm starving. Could you do some farming? Sure. Heard that you needed bread. And then all of a sudden, they've just gone and spent all of their time placing every single crop imaginable. These are the people you know who set up every single farm. They never log off. They're always playing on the server. And at a certain point, it just gets hard to catch up. If someone's able to put in this much time, you just get outworked. You can't even build without having to step on some next big project that they have. It feels more like you're a guest in their single player world than playing a multiplayer server together. And I'll admit, this is one I've definitely been guilty of, because while my friends were in college and I was younger than them and I was still in regular school, I had a lot of free time. The assassin. Now this is the friend who's always trying to kill you in some way, shape, or form. I mean, free stuff real, that seems fine. The skull through the grass, maybe not so much. And then, there you go. You open this up, you've got the secret trap. I mean, granted, writing in blood, that might have tipped me off, but I'm not always trying to play with a friend who's trying to kill me. And while you can turn on friendly fire, a trap like this doesn't use any friendly fire, it just uses bad will. So, it's annoying when someone just wants to always go out of their way to kill you. Makes you want to move away from spawn, and then you're not really playing multiplayer, you're just playing single player while you've got a monster living in your house. Yeah, now I'm gonna go stay over here, and I guess you have spawned now. The Redstoner. Now this is someone who will go through all of this insane effort. You've got the melon and pumpkin farms all the way down to the roots. You've got all these complex redstone doors. Everything is automated. Everything is the best optimal way possible. I mean, you're literally redstone component. Redstone is great, but everything gets automated, and then what do you do? And this is one I also feel like I'm pretty guilty of trying. I like to have the game get as efficient as possible, but whenever I suggest to my girlfriend, hey, why don't we try building this farm? She's like, I just kind of like going through and harvesting my crops, and I can't fault her for that, because it's definitely an important way of just zoning out with the game. There's no right way to play. There's optimized ways to play, but that's only right for some people. The Day Oneer. This is someone who shows up to server as soon as it starts and then never shows up again. We like to call this person Sandiction, where I'm from. Yeah, days since online. 203,018,058 days since they logged on. So any minute now. Just takes one message on Discord and they'll be online. What we've got here is just the person who only shows up, gets really excited. They don't even give you the full 2-week binge. They're gone forever. Hey man, I built this really cool thing. You want to try it? Oh yeah, I'll get on. Crickets. Now this person we're gonna call the Steam Punk, which is the punk who wants to play any other game on Steam versus this. So every message that you get, can we play something else? Dude, just stop. Well, Terraria's better. Why doesn't the warden ever drop loot? All they're ever doing is complaining whenever you boot up Minecraft that they want to play something different. I get overjoyed to play other games. That's why we have Skippy T as a channel to mess around on. If you agree to play Minecraft, let's just play Minecraft. It's what the group's doing. You can find your own fun. This one is the Parkour Master. Now, we're not gonna give them any kind of special boots or anything, but this is the person who just knows how to do every single jump in the game. All their time is parkour. Maybe they're even reading off Reddit posts. I don't know. Okay, I got a comment that someone was like, does Skip's space bar have a delay? No, my brain has a delay and my body pays the price. Hey, for the beef and the chicken. The Exploiter. Now, through very legitimate means of gameplay, we're going to show off how with just this simple setup and some silk touch, you can get infinite TNT. Now, I know what I would call this. I know what Mojang would call this, and I'm not even necessarily opposed to it. There's a lot worse exploits than this. Let's just say that. I would say that sand farming is more cheating than this, and then I would say that duplication glitches, such as anything that gets you shulker box duplication or anything like that, obviously the most. worst. But much like the cheater, they just remove a lot of the fun from the game. TNT farming, at least you could put this into something like getting netherite, and then the ancient debris scraps you have to go down there and fly to get. Use your pickaxe, use an elytra, use the fire resistance potions. Use your best judgment when it comes to exploits, but there's always that one person who loves to show them off. And you know what, honestly, guilty as charged. It is fun to point them out. Now this one's the miner with an E. So the miners yearn for the mines, and we have all got that one friend who will just go and do mining all the time, always. And you know when you live next to the miner, because all of a sudden you'll be going around trying to build a basement and you just find these weird cheese grids throughout your base. They're just making their strip mines and you run into them. Terrible. For one, cannot be structurally safe, but having to live next to this is just the worst. Technically, I did this not the optimal way. You're supposed to leave a 2-block gap. And this is definitely my go-to whenever I have to podcast or something. It's a nice mindless activity, especially when you have efficiency 5, but it also means that the whole world ends up looking really weird. This is the content creator. This is your friend who will always record every single session, which that much is fine. Not letting you know that they're recording, that's a whole lot worse. Oh, look at us, me and Observer on the green screen. Yeah, we're doing this like a cringy Minecraft intro. I do love this player head though. Look at it, it's got a little TV screen. I will say that in the end, when you get to look back and see all the server documented, that's pretty nice. I mean, that's how we have some of my favorite clips in Minecraft history. The speedrunner. In my friend group, it's just rec rap. But this is the person who beats the Ender Dragon on day 1, and even if you do set up a rule, like the end is blocked off until everyone's ready, they'll only ever join as soon as it goes. And then, as soon as they get the end city loot that they want, like the elytra, they grab that, and they're done playing. For them, the game has no more meaning past that. Wow. Well, thanks, Observer. That gives you the most of a body I've ever seen. I mean, speedrunning techniques could definitely help. I think that there's some stuff that's worth knowing just in general, which is why we've made videos taking speedrun techniques and trying to apply them to base survival game. But you live everything in the fast lane, you miss a lot on the sides. The Doomed. This is the person on the server who always has the highest death count. Ah, there you go. Yep, that sounds about right. Honestly, pretty low for him at this point. Good for him. I don't know about you, but I have a friend who will die to things that I never thought was possible anytime that we get to... Oh god, that's horrific. I've got this one friend who anytime that he joins the server, he's fine all the way up until the nether. The nether is his kryptonite. He'll always find the quickest way to die. So that one's for you, Dispenser. The Encyclopedia. And this is the person who knows everything about Minecraft. And if you have a question about some random trivia, they always have an answer. Now, this might sound like me, but I gotta be honest, folks. It's really Observer. Observer is the person I know who knows the most about Minecraft knowledge. Observer's the most technical player that I know. I truly wouldn't be able to make these videos without Observer's knowledge and know-how. And we also have other great people on the team who've known a lot about the game. I just know how to say words. The role player. Here we've got the sword and the stone. Well, I can try to lift it out. So I'm the King of England. Oh, Observer got it. Look at you, King Observer. But this is the person who they have a story that they're going to be acting out on the server while you're playing, but for some reason they don't make the rest of us privy to it. So you're just kind of wondering why they're acting weird, and it can be particularly uncomfortable if there's someone who wants to roleplay as a villain or a jerk character. And now he just wears chainmail like this. I don't understand. He never takes it off. It's perma-locked. Curse of binding to this story. It's gold doubloons. The admin. And this one gives us a funny hat. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh no, Observer, what happened to your head? That is kind of eerie, just having you float around as a pufferfish. Ugh. The admin's the person who runs the server, and they keep everything from falling apart. But you rarely ever get a glimpse of them because they're just flying through the sky at some random thing. It's like seeing Ho-Oh at the beginning of your journey. Yep, see ya. All right, well, I trust that the server's in good hands, or where hands would be if you had them. Here's where the admin comes in, and usually they could be a force for good. Usually. The farmer. Now, this is the person, much like my girlfriend, who loves manually farming crops. It doesn't matter if they could do it so much faster, or get better returns, or automate anything. They don't care, because in the end, just going through and punching a few things, planting them where you will, it's a good way to develop your Minecraft thing. This feels like someone who would have rather been playing Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing instead. Just having a routine in Minecraft, very nice. Now don't pay attention to the other chores that are slacking off. At least the crops are maintained. That's not a slight of my girlfriend. Sorry, I know she's gonna watch this. That's not a slight. There are dishes in the sink, though. The alpha wolf. So this is your friend who goes through and tames every single wolf as if they were Pokemon. As if you were playing Pixelmon, and the only ever Pokemon that they ever got was the Hound. And now, at least it's a little better because there's so many different types of wolves that they can go tame. This being one of the rarer ones. But the idea of just only ever having a bunch of wolves, and it means that you can never actually play them in a game of tag, because one punch and it's done. Even they can't tell apart their own dogs. It's gotten that bad. I was a little guilty of this in July series, though. I wanted to make sure that I got all the wolves, so I just kept going through ad nauseum. Most of the time, they just sit at home, because the idea of losing one of their many wolves is too dark to them. So they never actually get to go see the world or anything. They're just collected like trophies. Oh. There you go. Sick 'em, boys. A fisherman. This is someone who just likes to set up a fishing dock and then just fish to their heart's content. Which, don't get me wrong, is a great way to spend your time, but is this it? You know what I mean? Like, is this all I'm ever gonna be doing? You know, you can set up the podcast, hang out in the Discord call. It's a solid way to do it, and sometimes you can even invite your friends for a fishing contest. Doing this, never going around and helping out with any of the other projects, only ever fishing, gets a little boring. At least for me. Let me not be mean. It gets a little boring to me, but clearly it could be fun. Let me not just go and rain on someone's parade, even though I just literally got rain on mine. The bad builder. Now, I've had friends like this. I don't want to say them out loud to protect the innocent. I honestly might fall into this camp too, but this will be the person who goes in, builds the most ugly base imaginable, and for some reason, they tend to build it just a little too close to what you were planning. And unfortunately, Minecraft doesn't have any zoning laws, so now you've just got this real eyesore looking like someone griefed next to your base. And oh my gosh, the amount of people I've seen recently who they're using wood in the floors, but then they will just like get the orientation wrong. That's pretty gnarly. The trophy collector. This is the person who gets every single rare item in Minecraft and then just puts them on display, because literally what else are you supposed to do? The dragon egg? Nothing. The thing banner pattern? Put it on a shield, it looks worse. The tall grass and large fern items, which you can only find inside of certain village chests. Are they rare? Yes. Are they useful? No. So there is just certain things where it's like, okay, well, if they got netherite, that's cool at least. They're maybe a pro then. But the other rare items, especially if they're wanting to steal the dragon egg just so that no one else on the server can get it, that feels a little like they're taking it away. These are just things that everyone's gonna get at some point. That's a banner pattern I would pay for. The skull and crossbones of the observer, that rocks. Put that on my shield. The programmer. Now, this is your friend who likes to make Minecraft mods and always tries to convince the admin to install their work, but most of the time calling it work is a bit of an overstatement. Saying that a lot of these work is rare at best. And then when the admin finally agrees and does actually install the mod, there's a 50% chance that it's a troll mod. And the other 50% chance is that it's a troll mod that didn't work. The nomad. Now, this is the friend who never wants to actually build a base, despite how rich they might be. All of it is just inside of this ender chest. There might be all the riches in the world that you can imagine in here, but you'll never know because they never actually use any of that wealth to set up things. Of any of these, this might be what I'm guilty of the most, genuinely, because I have so often gone and built farms before I ever built a base, because I'm actually kind of self-conscious about building, but the idea of just doing something simple, that works. Even this is cuter than most things I would build. I've played on multiple servers where all I have is a chest monster, a furnace array, and a couple of farms to my name, and 6 beacons. Just a modest lifestyle, really. The Riddler. This is the person who likes to make secret bases everywhere throughout the world. So using this torch key, I can then go sneak through here, secret base, and what's even worse is when these people go and make secret bases inside of your bases. I mean, guilty as charged on that one. At least it's a mini game to go do, but at a certain point, it does get a little old. This one is the AFKer, who's always there, but they're never really there. They're always just eerily hanging out. It gets even worse when you have that vanilla tweaks thing that makes their name gray out. Just like, hey, everything all right? Cool, thanks, man. Glad I'm using bandwidth for you. Just for them to keep some farm active that they're never using. You can either call them the noob, or if you're feeling a little bit more charitable, this is the person you want to help out. This is the person who always needs help on the server. Doesn't matter what the situation is, they always just lost their items. They don't know anything about Minecraft. They always need something. You give them all the stuff, and then they never use it. They die immediately with it. Who knows? Just consider it a lost cause. That's pretty much all I keep from End City loot, is just for when I have friends join and they ask for free stuff. Otherwise, I'm never really using using all the enchanted iron things anyway? If I want to give it to someone else so that they can clear it out of my chest, fine. Hey there, buddy. This is a person who loves explosives. And you're always going to be a little unsure of why they have more TNT than everyone else on the server. They got multiple creeper farms. They don't have an elytra. And you hope it's just fireworks. It's never just fireworks. All right, Observer, what are we thinking? Send one off like the pyrotechnic? It was a pleasure knowing you, sir. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video. So see if they're right and have a good one, all right?